Hey, this is Evan Markatz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women, your personal trainer for love. Thank you for joining me here on Lovesplaining. This is a special mailbag for paid subscribers only. I know most of you guys subscribe for free. I bet 90% of you subscribe for free, but the really great stuff is unfortunately behind the paywall for a tiny, tiny amount. So if you want to hear my answers to all of the questions listed below, I think we're doing 11 questions today. Click on the button below and you can hear all the answers to all of the questions that I've ever answered here on Lovesplaining. As always, just to preface this, I do not prepare for these intentionally, not because I don't like to be prepared, but very specifically because I want to give you sort of an off-the-cuff answer instead of something that feels very scripted. And so I hope I equip myself well today. If I don't equip myself well today, please forgive me. I am a human being. Without further ado, let us begin. Our first question comes from Patty, who asks, how many times should we write back and forth on a dating app before the guy asks for a phone number? It seems some of these guys just want to be pen pals. So Patty so adeptly asks basically, why do people act the way people act? And there's an answer to the question. I know this is, again, not the answer that you were asking for, which is how many times, as if there's a specific number. Let's get into the why, because the why really matters. Why do guys play pen pal with you? It's because the very nature of dating apps, there's very little, in business terms, acquisition cost. You go up to a woman, you go out to a bar, you walk around the bar, you find someone attractive, you get the guts to go up and talk to her and maybe buy her a drink. You might do that once a night, twice a night, max. That's an investment to be able to get someone's phone number. Here on a dating app, you swipe right and you on anybody who's remotely attractive. Realistically, and I know this is hard, Patty, how many people could he go out with this Saturday night? So he may have swiped right on you and started a brief text chain with you, but realistically, out of all the people he swiped right on and had a couple of text exchanges, there's only one person he can meet for dinner and drinks on Saturday night. And very often it's not going to be you. And that is the unfortunate result of where we are now, the gamification of dating. And to be fair, it works the other way around too. The reason women are frustrated, why aren't men asking me out? That's a very real thing. I'm not minimizing it. Just know you have infinite options. And everybody has infinite options. So it becomes a lot harder for any person, man or woman, to focus on any one person. I could guarantee you there's a number of guys that you're texting right now that you are going to summarily start to ignore. And a guy would reasonably say, hey, I matched with her. That would mean I presume she likes me. We started texting and then she just sort of tapered off and stopped paying attention to me. What's that about? Right? And it'll be because he's taking too long to ask you out, or because you found any number of guys you like better. Why? Because it's so easy to. So the medium is the problem. What the medium brings out in people is the problem. And most of my questions are about dating apps. And so we just have to figure out how to make the most of the use of dating apps, unless you're going to abandon them entirely. So how many times should we write back and forth is not really the question. It's what other options do you have? If you have, I'll make up a number, 20 guys who you swiped right and are texting simultaneously who are matches, you want to pay attention to the ones who are escalating, who are going, and again, I'm not going to give all my online dating advice in the context of this. It's the kind of thing we do in Love You. But if you could pay attention to a guy's efforts and his desire to escalate out of the app to texting, to a phone call, to a date, if it is not to your liking, you're allowed to block him. You're allowed to, say something to him, but I don't think you even have to. People do what they want, and your dating pool consists of the guys who are making the effort. So I wouldn't count the number of text exchanges. It's not a huge investment of time or energy to keep someone in what we call the funnel. Just pay attention to whether the guy is making the effort that you want to escalate, and the guys who aren't are sort of relegated to second-tier guys. You don't have to do anything with them. You don't have to take action. If you choose to take action, then that's fine. But if a guy is not asking for your phone number, probably means he doesn't want your phone number because he's overextended. So this is the Venn diagram, right? There's his experience and there's your experience. His experience is he's going to get rejected by 90% of people he swipes right on, so he's going to swipe right on a whole bunch of people. Then he's going to have so many people that he can't possibly carry on conversations or take them all to the phone and date level. So it's not that they want to be pen pals, that's where they get stuck because of a finite amount of time and energy. And so I think that understanding is important. Instead of thinking, actually, these guys want to be pen pals, no, they found you attractive and they have to juggle their options the same way you have to juggle your options. So I apologize for not properly answering your question. It is entirely up to you. Don't pay too much attention to guys who don't pay too much attention to you. And don't take it personally, because it's not. Joya, if you're going through a big change, like starting a new job, having a health procedure, etc., would it be wise to hold off on dating until you're settled? Or does it depend? And if so, is there a different way one should approach dating if going through things like this to set expectations? When is the right time to have that kind of conversation? And so I think there's two things that immediately come to mind in no particular order. And they're contradictory impulses because I'm always going to try to look at things from both sides. Number one, it is unreasonable to expect that there's a perfect time for dating. I hate to be a tease, but the full episode is for paid Substack subscribers only. So if you want to hear my full answer to all my reader questions, go to www.evanmarkatz.com/Substack to become a paid subscriber. In addition to that, paid subscribers receive the ability to ask me questions and get coaching on my podcast, an advice column in which I answer your questions, a podcast in which I offer you live dating coaching, the ability to comment on all posts and join the dialogue in the Love-Splaining community, and exclusive content that is unavailable to the general public. Just go to www.evanmarkatz.com/Substack to join for free and upgrade for all the bonus content. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in the Love-Splaining community.